Okay, so XDefiant has been out for like a week now. I think a week and some change. I'm not really sure of the official timeline and everything like that, but I think it's been out for like a little over a week. And honestly, I'm super excited. I actually got a chance to play it last year with some friends. I think they did like a public test, or it was a closed beta. I can't remember which one. Like I said, it was last year. But what I do remember about the game is that it was fun. I liked it. I know everybody was talking about, oh, this is the new Call of Duty killer and everything like that, but we're gonna get into all of that. But outside of that, I did enjoy it. I do think that this is like a team-oriented game, and I mean, it just takes us back to that old school Call of Duty feeling. I hate to keep comparing it to Call of Duty, but that's the truth. But I'm gonna give y'all my like first thoughts and stuff like that about like just the game in general. As you can see, this is like my first time playing like the open version of the game, like the actual official version of the game, so we're gonna jump into that. But before we do, for those of you that don't know, my name is Asaph. I'm a musician, filmmaker, actor, music producer, songwriter, rapper, recording artist, videographer. Sometimes I have to remember what I am, because I am a lot, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, you're gonna come to this channel and you're gonna notice that like I actually do all that stuff. I have a lot of stuff going on the channel, and yeah, I mean, I know a lot of content creators that have multiple channels for different things, but I'm that type of person that I want to try to integrate everything into one channel to keep everybody in one place. And I do think it's doable. I think it can be done. So I'm challenging myself to do that. I want to create this inclusive environment for everybody, one place that everybody can come to, and I want to show other people that have many talents like me that it can be done. You know, it can be organized in such a way and arranged in such a way that it's not distracting or looks like super muddy and just super complex. It can be done and organized. Anyway, outside of all of that, so XDefiant. So first thoughts, first impressions, still the same. I like it. I had fun playing it. I think it's dope. One thing I did notice about the game is, I don't want to call this a criticism, but yeah, we coming in hot. I feel like the movement, this is gonna sound crazy, the movement is smooth, right? But I feel like the actual like movement, like the you know, like the walking, running, whatever, I just feel like it feels like kind of clunky. I just feel, I don't know, it feels smooth. Like it feels almost like, let me see if I can give an example. Like, okay, if I was like running or walking, but instead my feet were never lifted off of the ground, it was almost like I was just like scooting across the ground, like just kind of slide. That's kind of what it feels like. Me personally, I don't feel like the running feels super realistic, and you see kind of like how I'm kind of like strafing around the corners a little bit. It feels like I'm running straight and sideways at the same time when I do that. It's kind of weird a little bit, but it feels smooth. It's crazy. I like the gunplay. Gunplay feels good. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm a casual gamer. I don't know all there is to know about the complexities and the intricacies of games and what to look for, what makes a game fun. Like, I've played many games where I've gotten on YouTube and like the community hates it. The diehard gamers hate the game, but I enjoy it, you know, because it just speaks to the fact that I'm not a diehard gamer. I'm just a casual gamer and different things like that. So I want y'all to know, like, unless it's a game that I really play like for real, y'all aren't going to get any like super complex critiquey videos from me. Only things that I can speak to, that's the only thing you'll get from me as far as criticism. So as far as criticism goes, yeah, that's all I can really speak to about the game, man. I just feel like it's just, I don't know, I just feel like the movement is really smooth. Like the sliding is smooth, like sliding feels good, the jumping feels good, but it's just like the movement itself, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels weird. It feels unrealistic almost, but the sound effects make it feel realistic. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't know. Anyway, let's move away from the movement. The game itself, dope. I like it. Is this a Call of Duty killer? I don't think this is a Call of Duty killer, but I'm gonna just say this: if Call of Duty continues to release games the way that they have been releasing them, like in kind of like a hated fashion, I do think that this could be a great alternative for people to just run to and to get away from Call of Duty. You get what I'm saying? Now, there's a lot of big talks about Black Ops 6 you know, taking us back to the quote unquote basics. I don't know, we gonna see. But outside of that, no, I do think that these two games can coexist. And I've been hearing a lot of like YouTubers and content creators say things like no, it's not gonna replace Call of Duty, but it will be a great alternative when you get burnt out from Call of Duty. So like jumping from one to the other, you get what I'm saying? I totally agree with that sentiment. I don't think it's gonna replace Call of Duty, but it definitely is a good alternative for what I can see right now. Now I want to talk about something that I see a lot of people are kind of like complaining about, bunny hopping or whatever they call it. Just it's kind of like when you're in a gunfight and the enemy, they're jumping all over the place. I don't really know how to feel about that. I don't know. I feel like get your aim up. I'm gonna be very honest. As you can see, I really barely got aim. I'm pre-firing the heck out of that corner. Oh no, this is the part where I don't have aim for real. Check this out. I really could have killed this man for real. I missed so many shots. Jesus Christ. Anyway, ironically, get your aim up. That's kind of how I feel. Like I used to play like the PC games where people just jump all over the place. Like if y'all knew some of the PC games I played, y'all would be like, okay, I see why he probably don't complain that much. To a certain degree, I'm like, bro, just get your aim up. Like, just get your aim up. But at the same time, I feel like I'm too much of a casual gamer to like really speak to it. So at the same time, I do hear some of the sentiments of like actual gamers and the arguments that they make for people just jumping around all over the place. And they said in this game, it just feels different. It feels like more of an advantage than it does like a skill thing. Almost like it's like I heard somebody say you can change directions when you jump or something like that, something crazy. I heard the snipers have like no flinch when they're hit, different things like that. So all that stuff I understand the sentiment. I get all of that. My biggest hopes for this game though is I hope that this game doesn't become just another dead game. You know, over the past few years, I've been playing a lot of like games and stuff like that with friends and stuff like that and the bros. And what I've noticed is a lot of games we get attached to, we like, even if we stop playing it for a while, like ourselves. I noticed that the games, they come out, they be brand new games, and then like maybe after like a few months to 6 months, they'll just kind of die. Maybe that's kind of like an exaggeration. Maybe not like 6 months, maybe a little longer than that, but they just kind of like die. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't want to keep seeing that happen because some of the games be really fun, but at the same time, I understand in hindsight, it's like if you're playing a game and every other game feels the same, then I get it. That can be draining. You know, that can be boring real fast. Another thing is if you're playing a game where the developers just don't seem really talented, like every update they release, it's like the same thing or it's nothing new or refreshing, that can kill a game. You know what I mean? So I don't really want that to be this game. I really do hope that the developers listen to the audience. I hope that they continue to introduce fresh new stuff and everything like that. Like one thing, nobody say what you want about the game Fortnite, one thing that you absolutely cannot say is you can't say that they don't listen to their audience. You can't say that they're not always brainstorming. And I totally wasted my super move on my ult or whatever it's called, but you can't say that the developers of Fortnite they're not always bringing fresh ideas and fresh stuff to the table. You know what I mean? They're always bringing fresh stuff to the table. So and listening to their audience for the most part. So I'm really hopeful that this game will do the same thing and it just doesn't turn into another dead game. That's what I'm hoping, because that's been happening a lot over the past few years. You know, games just turn dead real fast. So I hope that doesn't happen to this game. Otherwise, yeah, the game itself is fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually do with the game. I feel like it's so many, bro, I'm trash, don't talk junk about me, but I feel like there's so many things that they can actually do to this game that can, I don't want to say make it a good competitor to Call of Duty, but make it a great alternative to Call of Duty. Like, again, in a space to where both games can coexist. But obviously, you know, you're gonna have your fair share of people that's leaving Call of Duty to come here, you know. And so I feel like this can be one of those great games. Almost like at one point it was NBA Live versus 2K NBA 2K. You know, at one point, when people say NBA Live was like actually, I guess, considerably good. At one point, it was like NBA Live versus 2K. You know, you had people that preferred it, but also it could have just been like a preference thing. So I hope this game becomes so good that it really does just become a preference thing. And something that you can switch between, but I don't want the games to feel the same. That's what I don't want. Like, I want this game to stay true to what it is. XDefiant, I want it to stay true to what it is, so that once I get Call of Duty Black Ops 6, you know, if it's worth buying, like, I want to be able to jump from game to game and don't feel like I'm playing the same game. You get what I'm saying? But ultimately, do I feel like it's gonna be a Call of Duty killer? Nah, Call of Duty is too, I mean, it's just, Call of Duty has already stamped itself to the point to where even when they release a bad game, people still gonna play it. Like, think about it, all the content creators that were screaming at Call of Duty over the past few years that can't stop playing it. And yeah, their reason is, oh, well, that's because there's no other FPS game out there to scratch the itch. And it's just like, I get that, I understand that, but it's like, I don't know if that kind of gives grounds. Oh, I love the shotgun, by the way. I don't know if that kind of gives Call of Duty the grounds to just do whatever they want because they know that, or if it's just a thing to where it's like, okay, like, I mean, there are other FPS games out, or was, like, you know, they had the Battlefields and I think Rainbow Six and stuff like that. It's just that they're not Call of Duty in that regard, you know. So, and it's not that they're not as fun or something like that. It's just like, once you become accustomed to something like that, you can't necessarily expect to fill a void until something comes out that really blows your mind. You get what I'm saying? So the last thing I want to speak on is something I think it's called like I don't know, like I said, y'all, I'm a casual, but I hear people talking about like hit registration. Like, I guess when you shooting somebody, the bullets don't hit, like they're clearly hitting them, but it's not damaging them. That's crazy. It hasn't happened to me yet, but they definitely need to fix that, because I understand that can run people away from the game. Lastly, getting hit around corners, that has definitely happened to me. I ain't gonna lie, I even did it to somebody. I was like, that's crazy. They need to fix that. Some things you can't argue against, like those things need to be fixed, and I do think the developers will fix it quickly. But anyway, I know I said a mouthful, guys. If you like this content, I don't know if you like my voice. I don't know, man. If you like the vision for the channel, subscribe and support and share, comment, all that good stuff. And we lost. Have a good day.